There is a little bottle sitting in your medicine cabinet right now that probably cost you about $1, and chances are you only ever pull it out for one thing: cleaning a scrape or wiping down a cut. But that humble bottle of rubbing alcohol is honestly one of the most powerful, do-it-all products in your entire home. From cleaning your electronics to saving you a fortune on expensive household products, this stuff can do way more than you ever imagined. So before you toss that half-empty bottle to the back of the cabinet, stick around, because number 4 might just be a lifesaver. Let's get into it. Number 1, disinfect high-touch surfaces. Think about all the things your hands touch 100 times a day without a second thought. Door handles, light switches, faucet knobs, remote controls, your phone, the handle on the fridge. These are the germiest spots in the entire house, and they almost never get cleaned properly. That's exactly where rubbing alcohol earns its keep. Isopropyl alcohol is a genuine disinfectant, and it kills a huge range of bacteria and viruses on contact. Here's a detail most people get wrong though. The 70% concentration actually works better than the 90% stuff for killing germs. That seems backwards, doesn't it? You'd think the stronger the alcohol, the better the disinfecting power. But the water in the 70% solution helps the alcohol penetrate the cell walls of bacteria and slows down evaporation, giving it more time to actually do the job. The higher proof stuff evaporates so fast it can flash off the surface before it's had a chance to kill anything. Just pour some onto a clean cloth or into a spray bottle. Wipe down those high-touch surfaces and let it sit for about 30 seconds before it dries. That little bit of dwell time is the secret. Don't wipe it off the instant you apply it. Think about giving your kitchen counters, cabinet pulls, and trash can lids a quick pass during cold and flu season, when germs are getting passed around the whole family. No fancy wipes required, and you're not paying a premium for a name on the label. $1 bottle, dozens of surfaces, and real peace of mind. Number 2, clean your electronics and screens. We rely on our gadgets all day long, but cleaning them can feel like a minefield. Use the wrong thing, and you can leave streaks, smears, or even permanent damage. This is where rubbing alcohol shines, because it evaporates fast and leaves absolutely no residue behind. Your keyboard, your mouse, your earbuds, the back of your phone, your laptop's outer casing, all of these collect an unbelievable amount of grime and bacteria. Dampen a microfiber cloth or a cotton swab with a little rubbing alcohol and gently wipe them down. Because the alcohol dries almost instantly, you don't have to worry about moisture creeping into the electronics. A quick word of caution: go easy on phone and tablet screens, since some have special coatings, so apply it to the cloth rather than spraying directly onto the glass, and use a light touch. Your devices will look brand new and be far more sanitary the next time you press them to your face. Number 3, remove sticker and adhesive residue. We have all been there. You buy a nice new glass, a mirror, a piece of storage furniture, and there is that annoying price sticker that just will not come off cleanly. You peel and peel, and you are left with a gummy, sticky mess that grabs onto every speck of dust in the room. Rubbing alcohol dissolves that sticky adhesive like magic. Just soak a cotton ball or a paper towel in some alcohol, lay it over the residue for a minute or two to let it break down the glue, then wipe it away. It works wonders on glass, metal, ceramics, and most hard plastics. This same trick is fantastic for getting rid of the leftover goo from bandages on your skin, removing label residue from jars you want to reuse, and even lifting stubborn stickers your kids have plastered on the furniture. Just remember to test a small hidden spot first on painted or varnished surfaces, since alcohol can sometimes lift certain finishes. Number 4, make a homemade flexible ice pack. This is the one you'll thank yourself for later. We've all reached into the freezer for a store-bought ice pack only to find it's rock hard and impossible to wrap around an ankle, a knee, or the back of your neck. Well, rubbing alcohol solves that problem completely, and it could genuinely be a lifesaver when an injury strikes. Here's the science that makes it work. Alcohol has a much lower freezing point than water, so when you mix the two together, the solution never fully freezes solid. Instead, it turns into a soft, slushy, moldable gel that bends and hugs whatever body part you press it against. To make one, just combine 1 part rubbing alcohol with 2 to 3 parts water inside a sturdy, sealable freezer bag. Push out the extra air and pop it in the freezer for a few hours. For extra protection against leaks, double up the bags. In a couple of hours, you'll have a reusable, flexible cold pack that's perfect for sprains, bruises, swelling, sore muscles, headaches, and reducing inflammation. Having one of these ready to go in your freezer before an accident happens means you're never scrambling in a moment of pain. It costs pennies, lasts for ages, and it's the kind of simple preparation that makes a real difference when someone in the house takes a spill. Number 5, eliminate stubborn shoe odor. Let's be honest, some shoes develop a smell that could clear out a room. Sneakers, work boots, and gym shoes are the worst offenders, and the culprit isn't really the shoe itself. It's the bacteria that thrive in the warm, damp environment inside. Cover up the smell with spray all you want, but until you deal with the bacteria, the odor keeps coming back. Rubbing alcohol tackles the problem at the source. Pour a little into a spray bottle and give the inside of your shoes a good misting, really getting into the toe area where the moisture and bacteria collect, or wipe the interior down with an alcohol-soaked cloth. The alcohol kills the odor-causing bacteria, and because it evaporates so quickly, your shoes dry out fast and take the funk with them. This works on sneakers, boots, cleats, and even the inside of gloves and hats that have started to smell. For an even deeper refresh, do this at the end of the day and let the shoes air out overnight in a well-ventilated spot. If you're a runner or you're on your feet all day at work, making this a weekly habit will completely change the game. It's a cheap, effective way to keep your favorite pairs wearable without dropping money on specialty sprays and powders that only mask the problem instead of actually fixing it. Number 6, get streak-free glass and mirrors. If you've ever cleaned a mirror or a window only to step back and see a maze of smears and streaks in the light, you know how frustrating it can be. Many glass cleaners leave a filmy residue behind, especially the ones packed with soaps and additives. Rubbing alcohol gives you that crystal clear, professional finish without the hassle. Because alcohol evaporates so quickly and completely, it doesn't leave any streaks or film on the surface. You can mix up a simple homemade glass cleaner using a cup of rubbing alcohol, a cup of water, and a small splash of white vinegar in a spray bottle. Give it a shake, spray it onto your mirrors, windows, glass tabletops, and shower doors. Then wipe with a clean microfiber cloth or even a coffee filter for that squeaky clean, lint-free shine. Here's a pro tip that makes a surprising difference. Clean your windows on a cloudy day rather than in direct sunlight. When the sun is beating down on the glass, the cleaner dries too fast and leaves those stubborn streaks behind before you can wipe it clean. This homemade mix also does a great job cutting through the toothpaste splatter, water spots, and hairspray buildup that tends to cloud up bathroom mirrors over time, and it costs a fraction of what you'd pay for the name brand blue stuff. Number 7, sanitize your makeup brushes. Here's a beauty tip that could save your skin. Makeup brushes and sponges are magnets for bacteria, dead skin cells, and old product buildup. Every time you swipe a dirty brush across your face, you are potentially spreading that grime right into your pores, which can lead to breakouts and irritation. Deep washing them takes forever and leaves them soggy for a full day. For a quick sanitizing session between deep cleanse, rubbing alcohol is your best friend. Pour some into a small dish, swirl the bristles around for a few seconds, or spritz the brush with an alcohol solution and gently wipe it on a clean paper towel. The alcohol dissolves the leftover makeup and kills bacteria, and because it dries so fast, your brushes are ready to use again in minutes instead of hours. Makeup artists rely on this trick constantly to sanitize their tools between clients, and there is no reason you cannot do the same at home to keep your skin clear and healthy. Number 8. Erase permanent marker and ink. The word permanent strikes fear into every parent's heart, and for good reason. One unsupervised toddler with a marker can redecorate a wall, a countertop, or a couch in a matter of seconds. The good news is that permanent marker isn't nearly as permanent as it claims when rubbing alcohol enters the picture. Alcohol is a solvent, which means it breaks down the ink and lifts it right off many surfaces. Dab a little onto a cloth or cotton ball and gently work at the marker stain, moving from the outside of the mark toward the center so you don't spread it, and you'll watch it start to disappear. This trick works on whiteboards where old marker has become stubborn and ghosted onto the surface, on hard plastics, on glass, on laminate countertops, and on many finished wood surfaces. It's also handy for lifting fresh ink stains out of clothing before they set. Think ballpoint pen that exploded in your shirt pocket. Lay the stained fabric over a paper towel, apply the alcohol, and blot rather than rub, so you draw the ink out instead of grinding it in. Always test a hidden area of the fabric first to make sure the color holds up, since some dyes don't react well. Keep a bottle handy near the craft supplies in the home office, and those marker and pen mishaps become a whole lot less stressful. Number 9. De-ice your windshield and frozen car locks. For anyone who deals with real winters, this one is a game changer on those brutal mornings when you are already running late. That same low freezing point that made our flexible ice pack work its magic can also be put to use, melting the ice that is sealed up your car. Mix up a de-icing solution using 2 parts rubbing alcohol to 1 part water. Add a couple of drops of dish soap and pour it into a spray bottle. Spritz it across your frozen windshield and watch the ice start to loosen and melt so you can scrape it away with far less effort. Because the alcohol keeps the mixture from freezing, you can even store the bottle in your car overnight and it will be ready to go. The same trick works on a frozen car door lock, and a little rubbing alcohol on the key or squirted into the lock helps thaw it out and get you moving. Just keep the spray off your car's paint where you can and aim it at the glass. Number 10. Brighten and clean your jewelry. Over time, your favorite rings, earrings, and necklaces lose their sparkle, coated in a thin film of skin oils, lotion, hairspray, and everyday grime. You don't need to shell out for expensive jewelry cleaners to bring the shine back. For solid gold, platinum, and hard gemstones like diamonds, rubbing alcohol works beautifully. Just drop the pieces into a small dish of alcohol for a few minutes, give them a gentle scrub with a soft toothbrush to reach the crevices, then rinse and pat dry. The alcohol cuts through the oily buildup and disinfects the piece at the same time, which is great news for earrings that go straight into your ears. There is one very important warning here though. Never use rubbing alcohol on porous or soft stones like pearls, opals, emeralds, or turquoise, and steer clear of costume jewelry with glued-in stones. The alcohol can damage the surface, dull the finish, or dissolve the adhesive holding everything together. Stick to hard, non-porous pieces and you'll be rewarded with a brilliant shine. Number 11. Extend the life of your razor blades. Razor blades are shockingly expensive for such tiny slivers of metal, and it always feels like they go dull way too fast. Here's the thing most people don't realize. It isn't just the shaving that dulls your blade, it's what happens between shaves. When you leave a wet razor sitting on the edge of the tub, the moisture causes the fine edge to oxidize and corrode, and that microscopic rust is what wears the blade down. Rubbing alcohol fixes this. After your shave, rinse your razor clean, then dip the blade in a small cup of rubbing alcohol or give it a quick spray. The alcohol disinfects the blade, killing off any bacteria, and it drives out the moisture so the metal dries completely instead of sitting damp and rusting. A dry blade stays sharp far longer, which means you can stretch each razor for weeks longer than usual. It's a tiny habit that adds up to real savings over the course of a year, and it keeps you from dragging a dull, bacteria-covered blade across your skin. Number 12. Degrease and shine stainless steel. Stainless steel appliances look stunning in a kitchen, right up until they're covered in fingerprints, water spots, and greasy smudges. And anyone who owns them knows that stainless steel seems to attract every mark imaginable, showing off each smudge like a badge of honor. Rubbing alcohol cuts right through that grease and grime and leaves a clean, streak-free shine. Apply a little to a microfiber cloth and wipe your refrigerator, dishwasher, oven front, range hood, and sink fixtures, always going with the grain of the metal for the best results. Wiping against the grain can leave faint streaks, so follow those brushed lines you can see in the steel. The alcohol lifts away the oils from fingerprints and cooking splatter, then evaporates without leaving any streaky residue behind. It also disinfects as it cleans, which is a nice bonus in the kitchen where germs love to gather around handles and faucet levers. For a finishing touch, some people follow up with a tiny bit of olive oil on a cloth to give the steel a warm, protected glow that resists new fingerprints. In just a few minutes, you can have your appliances looking showroom fresh without any pricey stainless steel polish sitting under the sink half used. Number 13, clean and deodorize your yoga mat and gym gear. If you work out, you already know your gear takes a beating. Yoga mats, dumbbell handles, resistance bands, and workout benches all soak up sweat and become a breeding ground for bacteria and unpleasant smells. Nobody wants to press their face against a mat that's been marinating in last week's sweat. A diluted rubbing alcohol solution is the perfect way to keep everything fresh. Mix rubbing alcohol with an equal amount of water, add a couple of drops of your favorite essential oil if you like, and pour it into a spray bottle. Lightly mist your mat and gear, wipe it down with a clean cloth, and let it air dry. The alcohol kills the odor-causing bacteria and sanitizes the surface, and it dries quickly, so you're not left with a soggy mat. Just be sure to keep the solution diluted and do a quick test on a corner first, since some mats can dry out if you use alcohol too strong or too often. Your workout space will feel cleaner, smell better, and be far more hygienic. A quick word on safety. Before you go wild with that bottle, keep a few simple safety rules in mind. Rubbing alcohol is flammable, so always use it away from open flames, stovetops, candles, and cigarettes, and store it somewhere cool. Work in a well-ventilated area so you're not breathing in the fumes, and keep it well out of reach of kids and pets, since it's dangerous if swallowed. And here's a big one. Never mix rubbing alcohol with bleach, because the combination creates toxic fumes. Follow those basics, and you'll get all the benefits with none of the risk. So there you have it, one cheap little bottle that can disinfect your home, rescue your electronics, save you money on a dozen products, and even step in as a lifesaver when an injury strikes. The next time you spot that bottle of rubbing alcohol in the cabinet, you'll see it in a whole new light. Which one of these are you going to try first? Let us know down in the comments. And if this video taught you something new, go ahead and give it a like and share it with a friend, and it really helps us out. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.